to VGB's podcast, episode 18. I am one of your hosts, John Warren. With me is my forever co-host, Nikki Grayson. Hello, Nikki.
Oh,
I don't think you've done enough podcasting this week. So we called
John, I haven't done enough podcasting today.
How was that old?
What's another one?
How was that old dump truck? What happened on the dump truck
fine.
today?
A lot of people calling in telling us about their coworkers' dead sisters.
Multiple dead sisters.
Well, one of them called in and said, today's my birthday. I was supposed to have the day off, but my coworker called in sick, or called out, didn't call in sick, called out because his sister got murdered. Why are you calling the video game podcast about that?
I mean, listen.
Why are you calling the dump truck about that?
I used to definitely have a thing with, we have a moratorium on the other podcast that we host to talk about, to not talk about the McElroys. And I understand that. But this is not a comedy podcast, so I'll talk about the McElroys this way. I used to really get weirded out by their no bummers stuff.
Yeah.
But then no bummers things happen, and I'm
for sure.
Why they go no bummers?
Yeah,
you don't need to call into the Jive
Don't call
podcast
me about that.
Dump truck about
don't call me about that.
About sister murder. I don't know what to do about that.
Nothing.
It's
fine.
But this is we did not plan this. A fun announcement that I do have a phone number for this show now.
Really?
I do.
What is it?
I'm not going to give it out because I have to still set it up and some other stuff. But
can you text it to me right now, though, so I can have a reaction to it?
Oh, it's not like it's not a fun number. It's a random number. I'm sorry. But it goes straight to my phone.
That's crazy. Now, why would you do that? Because there are so many ways to not have that happen.
No. It's like if anyone ever calls it will just go straight to voicemail and they'll leave a voicemail. So I'll never be on the other line.
Okay, that's huge.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
So you had your phone number nightmare this week, and you said, "Well, I know how to fix this. I will set up a third bespoke phone number."
No. Let me actually tell you the real order of operations because it's the opposite. I was sold on an additional line on my account because it would save me $25 a month for the rest of my life, which is insane. And while this lady was talking me into it, I was like, you know what? I was going to say no to this, but sure, VGB should have a phone number because that would be fun. We could do something with that.
Yes.
I could also call business calls without having my number be out there, which that sounds
smart.
Good. So I was like, okay, ma'am, that sounds like a great idea. Let's set it up. And she gave me two number options, and one of them was less memorable than the other. So I took the one that was more memorable. And okay, then that happened. I get my iPhone 16. I go to set it up. It says, do you want to transfer your phone number? And I say yes. In the next screen, what I realize is that it has lifted my wife's number off of her phone and onto my phone. And then I went to go tell an AT&T agent, and listen, folks, I need to be so clear about this. There is a racist way to have this conversation and a not racist way conversation, and I'm going to really try to have the latter, okay?
Yes.
It does not help a hard situation that is difficult to figure out and stressful and involves your data when the other people trying to help you don't actually understand what you're saying and you do not understand what they're saying.
Yes. Makes it impossible actually for everybody involved.
It really, and that is so crucial, Nikki.
Yes.
Because as I was frustrated by my own the lack of understanding, I was getting frustrated for this person.
Yes.
Also not understanding what I was saying. I'm like, this must be maddening.
No, for sure.
For me to be typing in like, no, wait. I don't think you understand this. I really have to be clear. And then she regurgitates the wrong thing back to me.
Yes, back.
And I'm like, wow, this is really hard. They eventually say, Mr. Warren, first of all, I followed their directions. I followed their directions so that then the entirety of the Warren Wilson household was on one phone.
awesome.
Which is so funny to me.
That's huge.
Like,
That's
it was
huge.
so funny to me. I was getting like Marco's Pizza texts for Anne while I was like also trying to fix the issue. It was so bonkers. And they finally were like, listen, we talked to 3 different people, and then we talked to their supervisor, and we expected them to forward us to a supervisor who was not in an offshore call center. Yeah. But they didn't do that.
No.
They sent to a third person that also did not really understand us.
Great.
Which is like really hard. It's really hard. It's really difficult.
At a certain point,
I am like,
why even have it?
Why are we doing this?
Yes.
We spent 90 minutes on a call with 3 different people. They finally said you need to go to an AT&T store, which caused me to, frankly, I will say, I did get turned at a customer service person for the first time.
No, for
in
sure.
like
sometimes
15
it hits,
years.
Though. Sometimes it hits though.
In 15 years, I've not really done that, and I did do that this time. And I felt bad, but I also felt like they were lying because they go, "We can't fix this." And in my head, I was like, "Oh, I so know you can fix this."
Yeah.
I know you
just
can.
don't. Yes.
And then we went into the AT&T store the next morning. Sarah, thank you, Sarah, at the local Fort Worth AT&T store. Thank you, Sarah.
Is there an AT&T store at Jerry World?
No, there's not. How weird is that? How stupid is
crazy.
That? Sarah
faces the wrong way and you can't buy a phone.
Faces the long way and you can't buy a phone. Sarah collected both Anne's and my phones, looked at it, got a read of the situation, and she said they could have fixed this in 5 minutes if they wanted to. And I go, awesome. I know. And she's like, and I was like, are you going to fix this in 5 minutes? She's like, it'll be less than that. And I was like, great. And so she fixed it in less than 5 minutes. And she was like, what was so funny is that I was like, so they really could have fixed this. She's like, they could have bricked your phone on purpose from where they were. And I was like, Sarah, you're really fucking fun. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Wow, that's great. So that was the phone saga. And I feel bad, but I am also just like, I think if after 10 minutes you have a mutual, we are not fundamentally understanding the problem, that's when they should have tapped out.
Yes.
That's when they should go like,
yes,
we can't.
They should be like, we can't help you. But then I don't know who it serves to have calls that are that long.
I don't either. I mean, it was really maddening. But that was the phone saga, and now it's fixed.
And now you have a capture button. So how often are you using that thing? I turned the flash on, huh?
I turned the flash on accident. But
how was it?
Yeah,
how did it feel?
It was all right. It was fine.
How are the pictures?
Yeah, I don't know. But they're pretty good. I actually kind of feel like there's a difference actually for the first time in a couple of generations. But I'm also really bad at taking photos. I'm not a Nikki Grayson.
That's why they pay me not enough.
That's true. They don't pay you enough. Who? Everyone.
JPEGs. Everybody. You pay me enough.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even agree with that, but that's fine. Let's talk about video games. Yeah.
Sorry. You know,
I do.
Where the fuck is the fucking?
But do you know? Do you know that we were apparently going to have a really big day to play, and then it turned out to be pretty much nothing?
Yeah, it was nothing. Remember when they dedicated time to telling you that you could do split screen in Lego Fortnite, and then showed the ugliest controller in the history of fucking man?
Really bad controller.
Awful.
State of play was this past week. Let's not bury the lead. Ghost of Yotei, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, probably the most important thing that they talked about. Mm-hmm. Looks great. Those games look gorgeous. Sucker Punch really knows to use this hardware. Ghost of Tsushima, one of those like checkbox open world games that I think is like above average.
Yeah,
it was fine. It was a good use of time. I think it has gotten a critical reappraisal, which I think is a bit nicer to it than I would be. But it's certainly not an offensive game, and I'm glad that it has seen some success. I like Sucker Punch's brand of open world bullshit. It feels kind of like poppy and airy in the way that I think Ubisoft wants it to feel, but it actually does it better than Ubisoft does.
Yeah,
I feel like
I would agree.
So that was one big announcement. Erika Ishii doing what appears to be the facial mocap and voice for that role. I know Erika just a little bit, and that's a cool casting call. So that's interesting. Of course, everybody's being normal about it, but we don't even have to talk about that stuff. We can just talk about how that game looked, and it looked pretty good. Did you beat the first one? I never did.
I didn't finish it. I was like, I get it.
I kind of did that too.
Probably won't do this one. Honestly.
I kind of did that too. I was like, yeah, I get it. I think I got like 20 hours in, and I was like, I think I get it.
Yeah. Seems like the guy in that one is the dog. Sorry, I knocked a thing over. The guy in the first one seems like it is probably the dog in this one. She's got a dog.
Oh, right.
And it's like that.
It is later.
It's later. It's like 300 years after.
Yeah.
So it's probably the guy's probably in the dog.
Smart.
Yeah, smart. And that's
Niki figured it out.
Who cares a little bit, you know?
I know. A lot of people were excited about it. I'm glad they're excited. I think that those games are totally fine. Again, I think they're pretty inoffensive. Other things that caught my eye, Hell Is Us is
that the one with the holes in the head?
With the holes in the mouth and all that stuff. It looked very... honest to God, I thought it was going to be Tom Clancy related, but in some sort of fantasy world for a second, because everyone's wearing like tactical vests, and the guy has like a drone that doesn't even look that interesting.
No. It just looks like a DJI drone that you get at the store.
But it looks like a Souls-like game to me. As they actually showed more of it, I thought the environmental design was fucking sick.
It looks really cool. Like gave me the oldest like Control oldest house vibes.
Yeah. So they had some really nice environmental design. I think that was really the only kind of brand new, I've never even heard about it, thought about it before kind of thing that came up. So that was okay. We have the Legacy of Kain 1 and 2 remake. The longer I think about this, the longer I'm like, no one's going to buy those.
No one cares about
it's very weird to me. That's like, I know there are some people who really think of those things of Legacy of Kain fondly. It was so niche in a time where it was niche beyond the niche that ended up lasting in a way. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know who this is for. It's for some people, and those people are going to be really psyched, but it's not going to lead to anything new, I don't believe. And I'm kind of surprised it exists in a lot of ways.
Great that it does.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's gonna buy it.
I don't know who's gonna buy it either.
You have in here. Go ahead.
I was asking you if you were surprised if anything wasn't there.
I was surprised there was no date for Metal Gear. That's the only thing that I was like, huh. But it just has to mean that it's next year. So.
Yep, I think. I was a little surprised by that too. I felt like maybe we could have gotten something from Square Enix here. But it's TGS week, so we're going to get some Tokyo Game Show stuff. We'll talk about a little bit of Tokyo Game Show stuff that was announced already as of Thursday afternoon. I expected maybe something from Square, but we didn't get anything. I know that we already got information about the new Yakuza Pirate game, which looks wild to me.
Yes.
I love that they just don't give a fuck about any sort of like clear continuity.
No, for sure. And they're also very much like, who cares if it's an asset flip? Like fuck off.
Who gives a shit? Yeah. We do these really well. So who cares?
Yeah. We already made this, so we're gonna make more stuff with it.
They invest in systems and vibes more than they do character models and kind of pushing the envelope, and I think that's great.
Yeah. Samoa Joe's in it.
Samoa Joe's in it. looks like Kenny Omega is over in Japan doing some promotional stuff for them as well. So if you love wrestlers in your Yakuza games. That's kind of exciting. Yeah, like weird state of play though. I feel like Cerny came up and talked about some bullshit with the PS Pro again. It was kind of a nothing burger. The pre-orders for the special edition 30th anniversary edition of those have come and gone. By the time I got in, out of morbid curiosity, pretty much everything was sold out except for a Portal. I didn't care.
And you didn't want to buy one of those?
Didn't jump on it. Yeah, sorry.
Interesting.
So that was kind of fun for someone, I'm sure.
Yeah, good use of everybody's time.
Good use of everyone's time. Yeah, wild. So yeah, Sony is not really, I don't know. I thought maybe they would have had something fun like a Bloodborne or maybe I don't know. An Ape Escape or some sort of announcement from Square that would involve Final Fantasy IX remake or something, but we just didn't really get much of anything at all.
We are missing the big news, which is that they're remastering Horizon Zero Dawn. So
I do think it is good and heartening that I feel like that's been the thing that's broken even the most like ardent supporters of this wave of remakes. It's like, really? Like, we're gonna really this one?
Come on, gang.
We don't have to do this.
Also, that's one of those situations. I thought they did it already. Like, I thought they already did
remastered that one.
Yes,
I think they did a next. I thought they did a next gen update, but maybe they
different then. But then, how many remastered Last of Us's are there?
Nikki, that's a great question. I'm going to say there are 3 remastered Lasts.
So they remastered Lasts of Us. So they remastered the first one twice and the second one once?
I believe so. Have they remastered the second one? Last of Us 2 They did. They did do that. It came out this year. Okay, so they did so The Last of Us was a PlayStation 3 game.
That tracks.
Did I just make that up? Did I just lie?
No, The Last of Us has to be a PS3 game. The Last of Us came out on January 15th, 2023. It's an HBO show on Max, the one to watch for HBO. Okay, so they've ruined their own fucking SEO. 2013. That's PS4.
2013.
PS3.
Wait, okay, all right. That's what I thought. I was like, there's no fucking way. Okay.
It's PS3.
Okay.
And then it came out on PS4 in 2014. And that was not the remaster.
So The Last of Us Remastered came out on in 2014 or 2015. The Last of Us Part 1.
That is the remastered version.
Remake of The Last of Us for the PlayStation 5.
And The Last of Us Part 2
Remastered is a remaster
of the game that came out 4 years after.
Correct.
So, okay, so there are 2 remasters.
Mm-hmm.
2, no.
There's 1 remake and 2 remasters.
It doesn't, who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. Whatever. They made too many of these stupid fucking video game that no one even cares about. That's not true. A lot of people care about it, I guess.
A lot of people care about it.
But it's boring as fuck.
Yeah, they're saying it. They're saying all the things that are true.
Who cares?
Anyway,
cares?
Horizon Zero Dawn's getting 1.
Great.
So in case you needed to see all of Aloy's forehead wrinkles as she fucking tells someone their religion is like a hokum or whatever.
Finally.
Man, please just bring us my Dr. Pepper. I'd like to sit here in peace at the Alamo Draft House. I don't need.
Please stop talking to me.
Please stop talking to me. I don't think those games are worth remastering. when the Last of Us got a remaster and all that stuff, it made me mad, but at some level I did kind of understand it. I don't understand this one. Like this one offends me in a way that Last of Us didn't for some reason. Even though The Last of Us did offend me. Yeah, it offended me. But this one is just more, it's sillier somehow.
They killed Joel? That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, he was weird. He was gonna meet some buddies for golf, and then it goes wrong. The golf game goes wrong. It's weird. He plays a guitar.
I'm reading the events of this
I think someone hits him in the head with a guitar like Jeff Jarrett. You know, it just kind of
it's really funny and everyone laughs.
Yeah, it's really funny and everyone laughs. Yeah. If you want, I will say this: if you want to just read a string, if you've never played those games, if you're like, I would just want to read a string of miserable events. Just
I just read this and this fucking sucks. What is this? Who is this for?
Yeah, it's just like,
what is you want to just fucking no?
Are you ready to see some misery? Here's some misery. Here's some misery. Here's some misery.
It fucking sucks.
I know. BGB is proud to say we're anti Last of Us, anti Monster Hunter.
Good,
and that's who we are.
The only good website.
The only good website. We are taking a stand. You know what game completely snuck up on me, Nikki?
Halo 2.
Echoes of Wisdom, which I thought, a gun to my head, was out sometime in October.
Me also.
I don't know why.
I thought it was next month, and until everyone said, I can't believe a Zelda game comes out this week, and I said, what?
No, it doesn't. What Zelda game does that?
No, I thought it was like October 17th.
I didn't know until Reb Valentine tweeted that she's like, oh, I'm glad that like the Switch is a portable device so I can play this while I move. And I'm like, you're moving now, right? And I was like, oh, she's moving now. Oh, that game's out.
The game's out. And also it came out on Thursday for some reason.
Which is not normal.
And not Fridays. What is that about? I watched Jeff Grubb play
because it has woman in it. Woman, they go early.
That time of the month. Yes.
Wow. I did not say that. You did.
They the fucking watched Jeff Grubb play the first 2 hours. Looks pretty good. Yeah.
It's downloading right now for me, so I will play it after this show. I'm excited to play it. It's gotten a lot of good reviews, which is not surprising. The consensus is basically kind of what everyone has said. Got some definitely interesting wrinkles with the gameplay. Makes it feel a little more open and interesting and emergent and modular, but also a little more linear and focused, like some of the earlier Zeldas are.
It also runs like shit.
Yeah, which is not surprising because the tilt-shifted Link's Awakening stuff
did not run
also ran like shit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Why they don't just lock this game at 30?
I don't understand it.
Me. But I
don't get it.
Sean was explaining it earlier, but it's like it's jumping between 60, 45, and 30 pretty frequently. So then when you watch the frame rate jump down, up and down, it looks
it's noticeable. Yeah.
Just lock it at 30, gang.
It's really silly, but I'm excited to play that. I've been playing UFO 50, which is a collection of indie games for PC and Steam. I'm playing it on Steam Deck. It runs really well on Steam Deck. It should run really well. It's basically a collection of Nintendo games from the mid to late 80s. All new, brand new from a bunch of different cool developers. You cannot take this as one game. I was mentioning this on Twitter, but it's like it should break convention with all sorts of GOTY stuff. GOTY stuff is like whatever. It's dumb to kind of like quibble it to death, but it is funny because it's like this is a collection of 50 games. They're not mini games. They're real deal video games. There's no way you can take it as one like game. If you do, then this pretty much has to be in the top of your list, I feel like, because it's just so interesting. But I want to just talk about one game that stands out to me, and it's called Mortal, Mortol. It is It is my favorite one of these so far. I've only played about a third of those.
Order?
I am playing them in chronological order, quote unquote chronological order, meaning they have this fake timeline of a fake console, and they basically put 50 collections, 50 games in one collection, as in like the entire timeline of this fake video game console. Very funny concept. So I'm going in chronological order. You can sort it in different ways. Some of the games are completely fucking inscrutable, really difficult to figure out. Very much like the NES games that you used to have to rent, and you're like, I don't understand this shit at all. And you get frustrated that you rented it for a weekend and then you have to take it back. And then there's some stuff that just fucking kicks, like Ninpek, which is a little side auto scroller ninja action game, which is a riot. It's like really fun. But Mortal is, how would you even describe it? It's
a guy's game.
It's a guy's game.
Gotta get a guy from point A to point B.
And you're sacrificing him all the time.
Yes.
And you're sacrificing him in one of three ways.
Yeah.
You can turn him into an arrow and he shoots himself headfirst into a wall so you can climb him.
Yep. And his body sticks out of the wall. And it's just really funny.
It's really funny. You can explode him, which is, as far as I can tell, one of the only ways you can easily break blocks and also kill enemies. Or you can turn into a brick that you can step on from the ground.
Yes.
And with those three tools, you're basically going to take this guy from one side of a level to another side. It's like very easy to learn, difficult to master. You're essentially trying to like do this in as few moves as possible.
Yeah, because the number of guys you have that get dropped out of the helicopter carries over from level to level.
Yeah,
and there's opportunities to get more guys in each level. So you can set it up such that you have a run where you start out with 20 lives, but by the time you get to the end of the level, you could have like 23 lives because you've intelligently acquired more and used them and whatever. So then the game is like, how can you maintain that buffer? It's really good. I also think the music is good. The music in a lot of I've only played a handful. I've already forgotten the one that I've been playing the most, which is the Idle game. Which is, I'm actually just going to open Steam so I can get the name of it.
Because I don't think I've gotten to that one yet.
It's at the end. Like it's one of the last ones. Oh, it's so loud. Oh, John, I started the game and it's so loud in my ears.
Too loud.
I'm gonna die. It's too loud in my ears. Load faster. Okay. Hold on. It's called Pilot Quest.
Pilot Quest, yes, that is an interesting one. I have not played it yet, but it's one of the ones that I see the most talked about.
Yeah, it like kind of looks like Toe Jam and Earl, and then it's a idle game.
Yep,
which is great,
which is super cool. So there's really something for just about everyone in this collection. It rules. It is such a bonkers achievement, and at $25, it's a fucking steal. We've talked about it a couple times on the show, but now that I've actually got my hands on it, it's one of the coolest games of the year collection wise. And I only just told you about 2 games that I like, and there are like 35 more that I haven't played. So or probably about 30 more I haven't played. But that's, I don't know, incredibly cool, really, really lovely collection. Niki, I know you and I have not played Overwatch in a long time.
That's correct, John.
But I want to tell you about something that might get us back in.
Okay, I'm excited and I'm ready.
Okay, you know how Fortnite does crossovers? Like,
yes, I love those. I love it. Like cool? Incredibles is coming this week.
Amazing, allegedly. Right? Well, think about Incredibles, but like what's on the same level as the Incredibles?
Toy Story.
Okay, so like think like a different country, like Japan.
Okay. Mario.
That would be good, huh?
Yeah, that would be good.
Go a little bit more obscure than Mario.
More obscure than Kid Icarus.
Kid Icarus, yeah, that would have been good too. Yeah, no, My Hero Academia. So,
and that.
All of our friends are there. There's
Hero
Pablo. And
who the fuck is Pablo?
Jen and Courtney Cox Arquette.
My Hero Academia. These guys were in Fortnite.
Right.
They made the game unplayable.
Right. So the Overwatch collab with My Hero Academia is coming.
This sucks.
We haven't had a good old fashioned riff fest about Overwatch in a long time, and probably not on this show. Mm-hmm. People are not happy about this crossover, and I don't think it has anything to do with My Hero Academia. It might have a little bit to do with it, but not the whole thing. I think why people are miffed about this is because they know, unlike Fortnite, the crossovers that Overwatch is doing currently are hiding the fact that there's nothing going on with this team.
There's literally nothing going on in the video game. Overwatch. Dead game.
Yeah.
They're just putting guys in it to skin the same experience that you're having.
And not changing it. And I think everyone is keen to the idea that like whatever money they're getting from that is not going to making new stuff.
No,
it is basically keeping the lights on to justify more of those things.
Yes.
And it's just one of the craziest things. Like, we will be talking forever, I think, about the fumbled bag that is Overwatch.
Mm-hmm. Until we die.
We can't really say much new about it, but I do think it is remarkable that they are finding new ways to try to stay in some sort of relevant circle without acknowledging that they're dead, because they are dead.
Yeah. And yeah. Now yes, I know the answer is yes to, is this more vile than them just being like, we're going to just put this on life support? But
kind of.
Yeah, because they're still trying to extract out of the corpse.
I think it's kind of more vile.
Yeah.
I just I think if there was like a spirit of joy with the game, if there was new stuff going on, like the reason like why the Fortnite stuff works and isn't vile is because they're constantly tinkering with it. They're constantly,
and it's also like mechanical differences. Like usually when they do these collaborations, it does change the gameplay a little bit, and most of the time it makes it slightly more annoying to play the video game, like when they did the My Hero Academia stuff. But like it still is a different gameplay experience while the collaboration is happening,
right?
And like you were saying, that's not what's happening in Overwatch. It's just, and the skins in this game are expensive.
Yes.
Like they're really expensive.
Yeah.
And also you can't see them, which is like so critical, I think, to playing Overwatch, is that you can't see the skin.
You can't see the skin.
It's a first person video game.
Mm-hmm.
So who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It is only a social currency. That's it. It is only a social currency. And I don't think it's enough. I think it's weird is that they never really learned that like social currency is usually not enough to kind of drive the kind of player behavior that I think they want. It's like it's got to be more than that. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just it's sad. It's weird.
Nobody wins.
On this.
But then it's like nobody wins, but then someone is going to spend $30 to get Tracer green hair.
Correct.
So like I guess Activision wins.
Tracer green hair, congratulations.
Tracer green hair.
Mm-hmm.
You are now woke.
You're now woke. Katamari Remaster is on Game Pass. I think that's a good little pickup. If you haven't played those games, I think that's a really, really phenomenal, easy pickup to do.
I don't have that anymore.
Game Pass?
I let it lapse.
You let it lapse because you were so intimidated by the idea of trying to figure out like
Yeah, how to make it not
what
lapse.
fucking tier you gotta like get into.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, if I notice and or miss it, then I'll do something about it. And it's been 2 months.
Right.
And I'm fine about it.
I tell you what, I had a group of, they're really lovely, these two movers ladies that basically helped me organize my office yesterday. And they basically did a Marie Kondo, like, does this spark joy? Like if this burned in your moving truck on the way over here, would you have remembered that you had this at all?
Yeah.
And my answer for like really kind of an embarrassing amount of stuff was like, no. Like I don't even.
That's great. And you got rid of it?
And I got rid of a ton of stuff.
Dude. That's huge.
It felt really
clean
good.
living.
Clean living. What was the most expensive thing I gave to that shelter? I gave a shelter something that like I laughed at myself about. I was like, that's a crazy thing to. I saw a TikTok today of someone with like limited edition legitimate UGG boots in like a Goodwill. It's like, you know, things that were like, it was like $700 or something. Whatever. And it wasn't at that level, but now I'm trying to remember, like, what was it? It was something kind of crazy. It was like, fuck. I don't remember what it was. It came from my office.
It was like a video game thing?
I want to say it was video game related. Oh, yeah. Yes. It was like I've not used it in forever, but it was a really weird modular full, like you could swap out the grams of weight in an ergonomic mouse. That was this
that you had that mouse at Fanbyte.
Yes, but I spent like $350 on it when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was just in a box. I was like, you know what? I'm embarrassed that I don't use this anymore, and that at one point I spent that kind of money on something like this.
On this, yes.
But some sicko who is having a hard time
gonna pop off on this mouse.
Pop off on this fucking mouse. I'm like, great, that's huge. That's fine.
That's great.
Great. That's what you need.
They'll get a weird heavy mouse. That mouse vibrates too, right?
Whoa. So that might be the Tron mouse I had.
So you went through a mice moment.
I went through a mice moment from about 2014 to 2019. I went through a mouse.
The Razer Tron mouse.
I got the Razer Tron mouse.
This wasn't it.
Okay, so that wasn't. I don't think this one vibrated, but maybe it did.
Ergonomic weight mouse.
It was called like a Z-axis mouse.
Z-axis mouse. That didn't do anything. Oh
no! Swift Point Z mouse. This was
maybe it didn't vibrate, and I'm just crazy. It had something called Deep Click.
It
did vibrate. It has haptic feedback.
Oh, it did. You're right. I just turned it off.
I remember because it was in the streaming room where we did late lunch at one point. And I clicked on it and it vibrated. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this stupid shit?"
This dumb mouse.
And it looks like it's $189 now.
Well, that's good.
So that's not as bad.
But it was a Kickstarter thing, so.
But I was embarrassed.
Yeah. I mean, that's like that.
But now
I need to do that right now with all the shit in my office.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they'll be able to click
heads. Yeah, exactly. That's what they need. They're getting stuff from the shelter. It's like, all right, go pick like a coat, like his fall's coming up. And like, you know, a couple shirts and like pants. Okay, all right, mom. Comes back with none of those things, with a Swift Point Z mouse.
Yes, that's huge.
That's huge.
Mom will be able to click on heads at school. So good.
Click on heads, so good. But yeah. The Fortnite Overwatch difference is massive. It's so sad. I just feel so sad. I don't know. I just feel profoundly sad for Overwatch when I think about it.
No, for sure. Depresso. When I go to Burbank, I have to pass by
the center, the esports center or whatever.
Yeah, the esports, the studio. And I'm like, they had all of it. They had everything. They had the world. And they said, nah, we're okay, I guess, on all of the money. We're good on it.
We're good on it. It's crazy. Sad. Did you also see that a bunch of Game Informer school old shit is now
speaking
in
of sad,
game spots around Minnesota, Minneapolis specifically? This comes from a video that Ben Hansen did over at MinMax. You can go check it out on their YouTube channel. But they went to the Mall America for a totally different reason. Ended up finding a bunch of the old shit from the Game Informer office at a GameSpot there. I'm sorry, a GameStop, please. And the workers there were like super honest and open about like, yep, like after Game Informer closed down, they just started like bringing this shit over. I'm like, I don't blame those workers, but it's just like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Well, we knew something would happen with it. I just didn't think it would be something that's stupid in a lot of ways.
It's so dumb. And I guess I'm glad. I'm sure a lot of it did end up in the garbage, but like, I guess I'm glad that some of it is still touchable.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess. I don't like glad is not the word, but like, just gross. Just fucking gross. Gross company run by gross people.
Balatro also out on mobile right now. You can go get it on Apple Arcade. Finally out. I had the privilege of playing this a little bit early. They did the one thing that you and I said that they would be too smart to do. Too smart not to do, I should say.
They fucked it.
Made it landscape only. I don't know if they're going to make it vertical at all, ever, in portrait mode.
It's hard to fucking see this shit.
It is not great. I will say, if you have not played Balatro and have a Steam Deck or a Switch or just you like to play stuff on PC, play that there.
Yeah.
That would be my personal opinion.
Yeah, this is not a good first place to play it.
It's not the ideal for Balatro.
Yeah. I don't think it is okay. But
if you haven't played it and you only have a phone for whatever reason, it's one of the best games of the year. Maybe my GOTY. So
it's great.
It's great.
For a long time, I was looking at the cards and was like, I can't. This sucks. Why are the clubs and the spades the same? They're not the same on my other. And then I realized I have the accessibility setting on to turn the spades blue,
which they don't have on mobile.
No, they do. It's in a different plot. It's in a different spot.
It's in a different spot.
Yeah,
that would make sense because I was looking
because I did a couple runs and was like, I literally can't see.
I can't.
I can't tell the difference between these two cards.
My eyes help.
Yeah. I've already won twice, which is huge.
You have? Wow. I have not played it. I've not done well on it.
I'm good at Balatro. That's not true. I'm not good at Balatro. I think actually you do need to be good at math to be good at Balatro, and I'm not. Because there are like optimal moves that I should be making if I understood like basic numbers, like basic arithmetic.
You have to know order of operations of math very, very well.
I don't. A lot of people don't. I've gotten this fucking far. I don't need to.
Yeah.
Am I doing well? No, but like I've gotten this far.
Am I doing well? No, but it's fine. But it is out. It's on Apple Arcade. So if you already have Apple Arcade, it's also no extra cost. Yes.
If you're one of those.
One of the best games of the year. So go check it out if you haven't already. Nikki, have you played anything? Do you want to? Nothing?
I played 30 more minutes of Star Wars Outlaws last night. And then I said, what if I laid down on the couch instead? And then I laid face down on the couch.
Are you going to go back to it?
Yeah. I'm having a great time. I actually do really like that game. Like I think it's good.
Because it underperformed according to Ubisoft, which some dicks are taking a victory lap on. But whatever. First of all, whatever the fuck does that mean? I once heard that the new Tomb Raider quote underperformed for Square Enix, and it only sold like 7 million copies.
No, for sure.
It's
I'm sure that's what this gap is, right? Like,
right.
the projected sales was probably 8 and it'll sell 6.
Right. Yeah.
In the first however many moons or whatever.
I think I'm about a day and a half from having my office fully up to play console games again. So I'm getting on Astrobot. I'm getting on Outlaws. I really want to.
Oh, you still haven't played Astrobot.
So I haven't played Astrobot.
Astrobot's great because that's just the weekend. Like you can just finish that in the weekend.
Freaking weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like I think I've cooled dramatically on it because I haven't thought about it literally at all since I finished it.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what that says about it. I still like really enjoyed my time with it, but also excuse me, I haven't thought about it at all since I finished it. So
well, that's I feel like that's kind of the case for a lot of people, maybe.
Yeah. But also like I think there is also something to I finished a whole last video game, right? So like to be able to be like the game is done. It's not actually
it's complete. It's out of my mind
to think about it more.
Yeah.
I do think that's valuable, but
I think that's valuable too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing both of those games, Outlaws, and looking forward to firing up fucking 10 minutes of the new NBA 2K at some point. Why not? I always do it, so might as well do it with this one. And yeah, I don't know, a lot of good stuff out. I guess Assassin's Creed got I was so heads down for like 5 days that this stuck up on me, but Shadows got delayed. That did not hugely surprise me because I felt like it was in that kind of dead spot anyway of like this could easily move. It probably will. Sure.
Yeah, but then I think like they should have announced this. They already started the marketing push, which is the hard thing.
Which is hard.
And it's really rare for a game to like
get to that
have
point.
The marketing push started and then it gets pushed. So it must not be, but also they're pushing it to February, which is not, what are they gonna, they're not changing anything. Like it just must be rough. Like it just has to be like, we are not happy with the polish on this game such that we cannot release it. And we must release it 3 months later. Like that's like February from.
This sounds like more like monthly bug fixes that they feel like are inappropriate to ship with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we could do like 3 months of bug fixes that we would have otherwise had to do right at launch, and we would have been hammered for it. Like that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Not anything meaningful.
Ubisoft is obviously and definitely going through it. I think it sucks that they have like it's not true, but like it feels like 1 in 3 people working in video games works at a Ubisoft related studio. So it's like they have more people than any other studio on the planet, and this game still kind of feel the way they do. And it's like, well, what if maybe you just let these teams, instead of you maybe had 1 or 2 teams work on one game, and then you had any of the other 85 teams that you have work on their own stuff, probably would make you more money if you had used all of these people to do different things. But I don't know. Yves probably needs to not, well, he already needed to not have his job, but he probably needs to not have his job. I would assume by the end of this calendar year, he will not have this job. Or when does the fiscal year end? March?
For who?
For them. I think it depends, huh?
I think every company sets it, right?
Stupid. That's stupid as fucking. We have a calendar already. So
it's one of the dumbest things that you ever do as part of a business. Is just like eventually a lawyer is going to look at you and go like, "What's your fiscal year?" And you just go like, "What?" Like, and the lawyer is just going to be like, "Yeah, basically invent a year for your business that like it actually exists on this timeline."
Yeah, we're a July to July family.
What? You know, it's really stupid. It's really dumb. It's really dumb. There's all sorts of like tax benefits to it, but it's like it's so stupid. It's not even worth talking about. All right. Well, we got to do a brisk one, so let's get to Hive questions. If you want to join the Hive and send us a question every single week, you can do so by going to vgbs.com/join. You can join the Hive at many different levels. One, Michael Hyam just joined the Hive. Welcome to the Hive, Michael.
Buzz.
Thank you so much, Buzz. And you can ask us a question in the Hive content channel of the Hive subcategory on our Discord server. It's a lot of fun. First question. Would you rather have jetpack farts or acidic spit? That's from Postman Dan.
Acidic spit.
Explain yourself.
I think you can do more with that.
So, like, whenever you fart, you're flying, or you
that's like annoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you choose when the spit is acidic?
I would assume you would have to, because then you couldn't like kiss or anything, and that seems bad. Like I guess I don't actually want either of these, but right. I must assume. But I guess if you're assuming that that you can turn choose, the acid off, you must be able to choose which farts go. Mm-hmm. I still think the acidic spit is kind of the move. There are people who I like come across who I'd like. If my spit was acidic, I would spit on you and it would hurt you badly. And then what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to the
who's gonna believe you
on me?
Exactly.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Okay, I think I agree with you. Jetpack farts to be funny, but like, yeah. What's your favorite either video game track or full soundtrack ever?
The Tetris Effect. I don't. Okay. I think if you listen to the songs in Tetris Effect outside of Tetris Effect, it is the corniest thing in the whole world. But I do think, like, while playing Tetris, I think it hits really well. I also think that like the Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald soundtrack is full of bangers. I think it just like they really were like, oh, you know what sounds good on the Game Boy Advance speaker? Trumpets. And I think they were right. So yeah.
Donkey Kong Country 2, Final Fantasy X is a really underrated one. Xenogears, really underrated. Really love that soundtrack. Chrono Cross, great soundtrack. The Halo theme individual track is just like such banger. A fucking iconic banger that like it's really hard. I did the da like in front of a guy delivering a washer dryer this morning, and he was like, "Hell yeah!" It's just like it's such a fucking good tune. There's a lot of video game tracks I love. Replaying Super Mario Odyssey recently, there are some misses on it, but not many. That's a really good soundtrack.
Yeah.
So
I should play that game. I haven't played that game in a minute. I don't think I own it. I think I had that game on cartridge, and then I lost it at some point. Like I just don't know where it is.
Explain to me now why, in the year of our Lord 2024, your Nintendo Switch could not just go like, you had this. You could go re-download it. Why can't you do that?
I don't know.
It's dumb.
It's fucking silly.
They
should be able to do that. Maybe they'll do that with Switch 2.
Maybe they'll do that with Switch 2. Who's your favorite film director? Nikki, I know you're going to have trouble answering this one.
Robert Zemeckis.
Just loves Forrest Gump so much.
I don't know, dude. Fuck, who knows? Who knows directors?
Sphinx asks, who's your favorite director? And if it isn't John Carpenter, why? Listen, I like John Carpenter a lot. I think The Thing is incredible. I think They Live is incredible. I like a lot of John Carpenter movies. He's not my favorite director, but I also don't know if I really have a favorite. I mean, Scorsese's pretty good for me the older I get, but that's not much of a hot take. So,
I really like. I'm looking at. I googled movie directors.
Okay.
Clint Eastwood Is he good? Is that a good one?
No, I don't think he's a go. Well, I think it depends on the era that you're getting with Clint Eastwood.
Like recent, like new stuff.
Recent, like
the new stuff.
No, I don't think that's a good one. No, I don't think
George Lucas.
George Lucas is probably fine. I mean, I don't think he's a great director, but that's probably fine. I think Spielberg is
Star Wars. What do you mean?
I think Spielberg's a safe choice.
George Lucas. Wait. Okay, so when you Google George Lucas, his list of movies.
Yes.
To stop me when you hear one that you are surprised about. Okay. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. Mm-hmm. Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. Mm-hmm. Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Mm-hmm. The Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. American Graffiti. Mm-hmm. Beverly Hills Cop 3.
He didn't direct that movie, I don't think.
No, because when you click on it, it's the director is John Landis.
Yeah,
who is not.
Who's not
George Lucas.
George Lucas. So
I'm on the Wikipedia
Google getting
page.
bad, or is he? Let me see. Is he a producer?
He's just in it.
He's in it. That as at what's it? What is his? What is he? What was he cast as?
It doesn't say. He's on a ride.
Okay, Disappointed Man.
Wow. So that's good.
George Lucas plays Disappointed Man in Beverly Hills Cop 3. So
that's great. Awesome.
Yeah. I was surprised by that, though. I didn't know he was in that. I didn't remember that at all. I haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop 3 in a very long time. It's not very good. Which of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to slip up and call you something unforgivable?
Which ones are those? Ronald?
Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael.
Which one's the purple one?
That's Donatello.
He's a dork. Gamer?
Ooh.
Like, I feel like he uses the internet in a way and uses slurs.
I think it's gonna be Leonardo who thinks he's calling you something PC, but is actually a slur. Mm. That's my actual answer.
Well, I don't know anything about those lizards.
I think Leonardo would call me handy capable. I think that's true. I think he would do that. So that's my answer. Thank you, Liv, for that really, really good question. We have a demand that we tell Ravioli and Barley that Steve McDykel loves them. I'm assuming Raisinette's also part of that deal.
Steve McDykel loves you.
And we have one more question. It's basically, how are the dogs doing?
Great.
Barley's
sleepy. Bear? She's sleepy. So I hadn't hung out with my dog in a long time.
What does that mean? Hung out?
Because I had a person at my home for a week and a half, which is
that's a big deal. That's too long. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really didn't feel like I had hung out with my dog,
at
all.
Yeah. And that person leaves, and then you're kind of you're sitting there going I haven't really seen this dog.
Yeah. That's what I felt yesterday. And I was like, who the fuck is this? It made me sad.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
So we hung out, which has been nice.
That's good. Raisinette and Ravioli both were onboarded with the new vet today, and Ravioli got 4 shots. Mm-hmm. So he's having kind of a sleepy day.
Drug day.
But they're doing really good. They're adjusting. But we did confirm today that Raisinette pretty much cannot see at all out of her right eye.
Oh.
Which is sad.
Yes.
And in a new house, we're definitely noticing it more.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't know where anything is. So that is a bummer. But she's in good spirits. She's in good spirits. Her bark is changing, which old dogs do. And that was something that made me sad initially about Ziggy, but I think it's really cute. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of fun to see. But yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good.
Dog
good
to Charles. New dog.
Yeah, new dog named Toaster. Looks like ravioli barley. Actually, toaster looks like if ravioli and barley had
a baby,
a child. Yeah,
maybe it is.
Maybe. Whoa, right, barley. Barley Pregante?
Pregante?
Pregante? Yeah, folks, we're gonna head out on this one. I think we're going to call it a short one. Moving is taking it out of me. I know Niki's got some stuff to do.
I have therapy and I've been on microphone since 10 a.m.
That's too long. So let's get you off microphone. If you want to ask questions for the Hive, you go to vgbs.com/join. Join the Hive. You can go to the Hive category on the Discord. There's a Hive content channel. That's where you ask all your questions. I make a call every single week, every single Thursday for those. It's really fun. Thanks for doing that. We're gonna start having more. We're gonna have more guests on the show soon. We're gonna do a bonus soon with a lawyer because I'm interested in having legal conversations about some of the stuff that's been going on. So yeah, that stuff's gonna be fun. So stay tuned. And just go
pre-order or go not pre-order, go wishlist LB and Merritt's game Fledgling Manor on Steam. FLEDGING Manor. It's a visual novel about a vampire reality dating show. Seems pretty fun to me, and probably to you. So go down, go wishlist it.
We are biased. We are fully biased, but it looks like a blast, and you should go wishlist it right now. Fledgling Manor. That's right. FLEDGING Manor.
It's well, I was gonna say it's free. It's free to wishlist it, but I don't think the game is free.
No, they're gonna charge money for it, I believe. But free to wishlist. So go wishlist it. It helps a lot of the pre-sale kind of momentum get going and all that stuff. It is important. All right, folks, thanks so much for listening to this episode of BGB's podcast. We'll be back again next week with a regular episode as well as a bonus. And until next time, keep on buzzing.
Buzz.